Quicker today because we only have two candidates. And I know both candidates are out today. They're advanced polls, and I'm encouraging everyone as soon as they get out here, if they haven't already, to get out and vote as soon as they're better. So I want to start with each candidate, and we'll start here on my left, Peter first, with 3 minutes to share and tell us why they and their parties are the best choice for your riding. And so we've asked Dave Nicholson, he's going to be the timekeeper, to make sure you keep that 3 minutes, and you'll see we'll have some placards that will count down. After that, what we'll do is we'll just take questions from the group, from the people here. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, and preferably would ask not direct questions to them, but something they could both answer. A question on policy, or on how they see the issues or the concerns of their constituents. So, we'll start, Peter. So, Peter, do you want to have any questions?
Well, I'll just answer that one for you. The Green Party has specific policies about elderly care. We prefer in-home programs, in community programs. I think segregation in homes is not part of our ideology, so that's not. Admittedly, there are some cases that require that kind of care, but we are all for caring for the elderly. We want to facilitate that more than we do at the moment, not just in terms of healthcare though, also in terms of education, lifelong learning. We want to fund more lifelong learning, more education through your middle and elderly users as well. Does that answer your question? Okay. We do have specific policies on that topic.
Thank you, Peter.
This question is in regards to the budget. In both of your opinions, what is the best part of the budget and what is the worst part of the budget?
I'm not an economist. I haven't read your own page on a budget. I have to rely on a synopsis, pretty much like the rest of you. I don't like any, to be quite honest with you. We're going to have 12,000 students next year go into our school system unfunded. And we're supposed to believe that through some magic in the classroom, these children are going to get the same level of education, and all the existing students are going to get the same level of education. Healthcare, we're seeing cuts in healthcare as well, but we're going to expect better service with cuts. The only part of this budget that doesn't attack anybody for more money is the corporate income tax. They're the only ones that have escaped this budget. They escaped completely and wholly. They have profited immensely. Albertans have not profited as much as the corporations in this province have. If you Google Alberta corporate tax, you come up with words like tax haven, tax shelter. We have one of the lowest corporate tax rates on the continent. All right? And I think it's important that all of the items that we want to fund, all right, better education, better health care, better support services, better social programs, all have to be paid for somewhere. Corporate tax, an increase in corporate tax, and a return to the progressive income tax rate that we had in 2001 would be a way to do that. So we haven't just promised a whole bunch of things that we have no idea how to pay for. We realize that there are issues in the budget. I don't agree with virtually any part of it, to be honest with you. I don't think we deserve to be held accountable for our government's lack of management ability. Thank you.
You know, there's no doubt this is a tough budget, and the Premier said very, very clearly that we have to get off the oil roller coaster. And you know, politicians have said this before, but you've never seen a guy put out a plan, a 10-year fiscal plan, and then call an election to say, here you go, folks. Here's a 10-year fiscal plan where within year 5, half our oil and gas revenue goes into savings and infrastructure. But it's tough. It's tough. There's absolutely no doubt about it. it's done in a thoughtful way where you don't have mass cuts like what one party wants to do. You know, essentially $18 billion over 5 years, and they can't tell us how they would do it. And it's not a whole series of massive tax hikes that can reduce our competitiveness when it comes to our business climate. Folks, let's not forget our fragile economy right now cannot withstand massive changes either on the deep $18 billion cut side or massive tax hikes. It just can't. You have to work in a very thoughtful, methodical way to protect jobs and protect our economy. That's what we're doing. Investing in infrastructure. $29.5 billion in infrastructure spending. Over 100 schools that are going to be open by fall of 2016. Right? So there's a wide range of very strong investments. The one piece that I'm really proud of is the fact that for families making $43,000 and below, for working families making $43,000 and below that have children, they've got themselves a new tax credit. And in my constituency, that is a big deal. There's a lot of families, a lot of folks that work hard, they have children, and they deserve a tax break and live well.
Thank you. So, one more question? One more question from anyone? If not, why don't we sum up? And if you could give an opportunity, a couple minutes for a closing statement. Manmeet first.
Thank you very much. First of all, Cam, thanks for putting this together. You know, folks, this is a really critical election. It's a very, very pivotal time for our province. $7 billion, right? $7 billion of our revenue is no longer there. And so we have a choice. We either sort of put your head under the pillow and say, okay, let's hope and pray that things come back, or we make some systematical changes. And the Premier has chosen to make some very systematical changes. They're not easy, they are tough, but you follow through on them, and Alberta will be much better off for it. That's the goal, that's the objective, and that's why we are now in a situation where we've put forward a 10-year plan. Our economy is incredibly fragile, right? Incredibly fragile. We're losing, $10, $12, $14,000 a month. Jobs a month, I meant to say. We got to do what we can to protect these jobs. We're continuing the infrastructure spending to keep the economy moving and to build critical infrastructure that's needed. The hospital, the seniors facilities, and Simon asked the question of, well, why do you even need seniors? Someone said, why do you even need seniors facilities? Simon, there's family after family after family I talk to. It doesn't matter what background they're from. When a senior's medical situation gets so difficult, it's very tough. Not every family can afford to have one person or two people quit their jobs and stay home with somebody. It becomes very tough. I've seen this. I've been in people's homes where they essentially start to weep in front of you. They actually start to cry, grown men crying because of the situation their dad's in. So that's the type of infrastructure we have to invest in to protect the quality of life for Albertans. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
First, forgive me for not being as well-spoken as my friend here. This is my first time. I'll get better. We haven't mentioned climate change. We haven't mentioned loss of diversity. We haven't mentioned the fact that Alberta is now the leader in deforestation. We're the leader in carbon emissions per capita. We're the leader in a lot of the wrong ways. I have 17 printed pages of specific Green Party policy. www.greenpartyofalberta.ca. We have everything spelled out there. It goes into a lot more detail than I can here. wrote a whole big long speech, and I never got to say it. I'm going to do the last paragraph just because. I believe the Green Party has the policies and ability to create the leadership Albertans deserve, and I want to help them do that. I'm asking for your help on May the 5th, but more importantly, I'm asking you all to vote. And please encourage everyone you know, your family members, your children, encourage them to vote. We're not being represented because we're not demanding representation. When we do, we will get that representation. I would like to represent you. I will do as good a job for you as I do at my job as a mechanic, and I'm a good mechanic. I want to thank you all for coming here and put up with me. Thank you very much, Cam, for setting this all up. We need this. This is democracy right here. This is what it is. And I thank you very much.
So it was an honor for both of you to join us today. And it was an honor to have the members and the guests here today to join us in our Rotary Club and our fellowship. One of the things that I mentioned, there's a couple of things that caught on to me in Rotary. One of them was the model service above self that I talked about before. The other one that we all believe on and all Rotaries know is the four-way test, right? And so I'm going to give a four-way test coin to each our candidate. I know Manmeet already has it. Maybe you can recite it to us as well. Off by heart, can you? Well, I'll give you this now. We can help. We can help. So I'm going to give you each one of these, the four-way test, and all the Rotarians, I want you to stand up and we'll all recite the four-way test. Because I think this is an important thing that we're asking all our politicians, all our public servants to do. Are we ready?
Is it
the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Great, thank you very much, and thank you for Rotary.